विनीलामयविग्रहाय हेमाभदिव्यै छविसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we start with our chapter 19 from the books Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And this chapter is further talks with Prakashananda Saraswati. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was having a talk with Prakashananda Saraswati. Prakashananda Saraswati asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I believe you have taken initiation in our under our Mayavad Sampradaya school of philosophy from Sri Keshav Bharati. So then you should also, like us, we are also reading Vedanta Sutra, we are also reading this Vedant. Then why are you not reading Vedanta Sutra? Why are you doing all this chanting of this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and sometimes you're dancing and singing and playing all these instruments and crying and laughing? What is all this? Why you are, this is sentimental, what you are doing. You should be doing intellectual things as we do. So that's when Mahaprabhu starts explaining and shares many things. And that talk is still continuing. Bhav is the transcendental ecstatic attachment for Krishna, which results from perfectly understanding that the person Krishna and the name Krishna are identical. When we sit to chant our rounds, we should actually pray to Krishna that, see Krishna, for so many years or whenever we have started chanting, we usually sit, okay, जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि श्री गौर भक्तवृंद की हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 राम। And we're chanting 16 rounds over. We don't even understand that we have done 16 rounds. We don't even understand that we are associated with Krishna with the Maha Mantra, because we are not associating with Krishna. We are just doing it like a duty. अरे ये करना है, खत्म करो बस. But we never think about it. So we should try to first pray to Krishna that, Krishna, I am now sitting to chant my rounds, and I want to chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra because firstly it is an instruction from my spiritual master. I have taken a vow, so it is an instruction, it is my vow. But my Guru Maharaj will be most pleased when you are pleased, and you will be pleased when my Guru Maharaj is pleased. So I want to do this as an instruction, but more than that, I also want to do it with love, Preeti Purvakam. I want to give pleasure to my spiritual master. So please, I also want to give pleasure to you by chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, whether I get pleasure or not. That is not important. I may not get any pleasure because I am so conditioned for so many lifetimes. What have I been doing? I never remembered you. So where is the question of getting pleasure by chanting Krishna's name? Because lifetime after lifetime, I wanted everybody to chant my name. I wanted everybody to chant my glories. Now suddenly I am coming into this path, and by the mercy of Guru Maharaj and Krishna and all the Vaishnavas, now I'm coming into this path. I'm trying to understand this. Therefore, I don't know whether I will get that taste or not, whether I will enjoy or not, whether I will get pleasure or not. But I want to give pleasure to my spiritual master. I want to give pleasure to you, Krishna. Hare Krishna is the energy of Krishna and the energetic himself, that is Krishna himself. I want to chant these holy names to give pleasure to my spiritual master, to Krishna. And if you so desire, then please give me the taste in this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then, like that, praying with all our heart and with real feelings, we should then start chanting the holy names. And then Krishna will help us. Uh, so here Mahaprabhu is saying that this bhav is the transcendental ecstatic attachment for Krishna, which results from perfectly understanding that person Krishna and the name Krishna are identical. One who has attained this bhav platform is certainly not contaminated by material nature. One who is in the bhava platform cannot be in the material nature. He enjoys transcendental pleasure from bhav, that feeling. When bhav, it's not just feeling, it's attachment. When bhav is intensified, then it is called love of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Prakashananda Saraswati that the holy name of Krishna, the Maha Mantra, it is called Maha Mantra, great chant, enables anyone who chants it to attain the stage of love of Godhead or intensified bhav. So anybody who chants this Maha Mantra, and when Mahaprabhu is saying chants this Maha Mantra, it is implied that chants attentively. Unlike our situation, when sometimes we are saying phone also, sometimes we are thinking something else also, there's a different situation. But actually, wherever it is mentioned chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it is an implied thing that chanting it attentively. So whoever chants this Maha Mantra enables anyone, anybody, even if somebody is in the most fallen, degraded condition, somebody is a mlecha, somebody is a uh, yavan, anybody, dog eaters, chandals, anybody who chants this Maha Mantra will attain the stage of love of Godhead. And what is love of Godhead? It is intensified bhav. Love of Godhead is the ultimate human necessity. For when one compares it with other necessities, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, liberation, one can see that these other things are most insignificant. When one is absorbed in temporary conditioned existence, he hankers after sense gratification and liberation. When one is absorbed in temporary conditioned existence, when somebody is absorbed in their mundane activities, Array, this is my work, I have to do this. If I don't do it, who will do it? I have to go to the office. The office is office is running only because of me. I am the doer. And then I have to take care of the family. Somebody who is just into this conditioned existence, he hankers after sense gratification and liberation. Such persons, they think, when will I get mukti from all this thing? When will I get some time when I don't have to worry about all this and I can do something of my own pleasure? And then they will start thinking they are sitting by the bank of some um, in the beach, Laguna Beach or Las Vegas, and they are doing some sense gratification. So this is the condition of those who are absorbed in this mundane material activities and conditioned life, temporary activities. But one who has who understands, or who has come to this stage, and when they compare these other necessities, they see that all these other necessities are just insignificant. There is no comparison also. But love of God, it is the eternal nature of the soul. It is unchangeable, without beginning or end. Therefore, neither temporary sense gratification nor liberation can compare with the transcendental nature of love of God. Love of God is the fifth and the ultimate goal of human life. Fifth, as in after the Purusharth, the Chatur Purusharth, religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. It is the fifth stage. It is the stage beyond this fourth stage, four stages. Um, yeah. So, love of God, it is the fifth and ultimate goal of human life. Compared with the ocean of transcendental pleasure, that is love of God, the conception of impersonal Brahman is no more significant than a drop of water. This absorption point we were reading. Yeah, when one is absorbed. Okay, this absorption point just reminds me of one incident. I don't know if it is even related, but uh, how we relate with the temporary conditioned existence, and when somebody is absorbed in love of God, or somebody who's in bhav. Okay, this absorption, how important it is. So I just remembered one incident that once I remember, um, I was standing in front of my spiritual master, and I was showing some reports to my spiritual master. And I didn't realize that. So I was completely absorbed that, because I was standing in front of my Guru Maharaj and I was showing Guru Maharaj some reports, and Guru Maharaj was also very very focused, and he was looking at the reports, and so there were certain videos, and I was telling Guru Maharaj that these are the new devotees who are trying to um, practice Krishna consciousness despite many challenging situations. So Guru Maharaj was also very absorbed, and I think it was about, like, I don't even know how much time, maybe about 5, 10, 15 minutes, or whatever time it was. And then when my I was done with showing reports, and then I took blessings from Guru Maharaj, and I was praying something to Guru Maharaj, and then when I was done and when I turned, I realized that this whole hall where I was standing and Guru Maharaj was there, and Guru Maharaj's servants. So in front of me, I could only see Guru Maharaj and Guru Maharaj's servants. When I looked behind, I realized that people were literally like pushing, and people were falling down because everybody wanted to come and look at Guru Maharaj. And I never realized, because I was so absorbed in that moment, that Guru Maharaj is giving blessings to these new devotees, and my only focus was that these devotees who are new, I just wanted Guru Maharaj's glance on them. So I was fully absorbed in that, and I never realized that so much was going on behind me. So as soon as I moved out, I realized I was inside a storm happening there. And when I came out, with great difficulty, I came out of that place. And then I was thinking, oh, how I did not even realize that people were pushing me, and people were falling on me. But I had no, I mean, I was not aware of it at all. So this is what absorption can do. Many times we feel that, oh, in this material world, this situation is giving me trouble. This is the difficulty. I'm facing this challenging situation. That person is not, you know, that person is not behaving properly or is not listening to me. This, that, so many things. But the thing is, if we are really absorbed in Krishna, if our focus is only Krishna or Guru Maharaj, then none of these things can really impact us. Because uh, just because our own mind is not absorbed in Guru and Krishna, because our mind is everywhere, therefore we see problem in every place. Um, so absorption is very, very important. And this also reminds me of another uh, story, an incident that once uh, a father, the parents told the child that let's go to the temple. Child means not very small child, a young girl, that let's go to the temple. It's Sunday feast, let's go to the temple. So this daughter, she said that, oh, you and mom, please go. I don't want to go, because every time I go there, I see that everybody is discussing about somebody else, and oh, people are busy, speaking about other devotees, instead of focusing on the arti or the kirtan. Everybody is busy in their own stuff. So therefore, I am not interested in going to the temple. So the father says, okay, this time you come, maybe next time you can avoid. Okay, this time you come with us, because I want to carry something, and I need your help. So the daughter says, okay, what is it? So the father takes a bowl, takes a bowl, fills it with water up to the brim. Okay, and then comes to the daughter and says that I want you to hold this And you have to be very careful that even one drop of water should not spill out, because there is a special purpose. So you have to take this and come along with us, and then next time onwards you can avoid the coming to the temple. That's your choice. Okay, the daughter said fine. So now she started carrying this bowl which is filled with water up to the brim, and now she's very careful that one drop of water should not spill out. So she's always focusing on that water. No, whole temple, whatever activities was going on, she was simply focused on that water. That water should not spill out of this bowl. So I have to be very careful about it. They came back home, and now this father in the evening is asking the daughter that, Acha, so today did you notice what was this Mataji speaking, and did you see that Prabhu, he was saying something, what was he speaking? So this daughter said, no, I couldn't hear anything. So the father said, but you were sitting right next to them. No, she was sitting so close to you. How could you not hear? She was speaking so loudly. Even I could hear from a little distance. So daughter said, no, no, no. My whole focus was on this water, because you said not a drop should spill out of the bowl. So the father said, yes. Because your focus was on that bowl, on the water, that it should not spill out of the bowl, therefore you could not focus on other things that is happening around. So similarly, we should be focused on our goal and not bothered what is happening around. Many things will happen around us. Different devotees will do different things, but what is our focus on? Where are we absorbed? That will determine our destination. It doesn't matter what others are doing, or what others have done, or what others are going to do. First, let me protect and secure my position. First, let me secure my goal. Is my goal secured? If it is not secured yet, my absorption, my focus should be this, that I have to first achieve the lotus feet of the Lord. I have to first get to the lotus feet of my spiritual master. If I am protected, if I am secured, then automatically everyone around me will be taken care. Just like Lord Narsimadev told Prahlad that when Prahlad Maharaj, when he prayed to Lord Narsimadev that um, you please, uh, yeah, deliver my father. He has always been envious of you, but you're very kind, you're very merciful. Therefore, I'm praying that you please, deliver my father, Hiranyakashipu. And Lord Narsimadevi says that, oh, Prahlad, you are speaking about your father. What to speak of your father? He's already sitting in Vaikuntha Lok, and he's already enjoying there. He's already relishing. And what are you speaking of your father? Your 14 generations before you came and 14 generations after you, they all will get delivered, because you are the pure devotee in this family. So therefore, our focus has to be that we should ourselves try to become pure devotees. And what is pure devotee? Pure devotee is not something out of Pandora's box, that I have to do something new to become a pure devotee. Pure devotee is whatever instructions my spiritual master is giving me, I should focus on that. I should listen to Prabhupada Vani, because that is Shabda Brahma. Anything that is coming out of the lotus lips of a pure devotee is Shabda Brahma. Brahma, Supreme Brahma is Krishna. And that Supreme Brahman, Krishna, in the form of Shabda, sound vibration, is what comes out of the mouth of pure devotee. So when we hear the words emanating from the lotus lips of pure devotees, then we are directly associating with the Supreme Lord. That is because that is Shabda Brahma, and that will protect us. So we should hear Prabhupada Vani every day. We should hear our spiritual master Guru Maharaj's Vani every day. And we should read Srila Prabhupada books every day. We should try to chant our rounds with as much um, attentiveness as possible. Try to make it as much quality. And whatever doubts we have after all this, hearing and reading, we should definitely put our doubts in front of our guide, mentor, or a senior devotee, and we should seek their, um, I mean, we should humbly seek from them the answers to such doubts. At the same time, we should seek guidance for everything. Not that we decide something and then we seek blessings for it, because that is not guidance. We have done this for all our lifetimes, that Krishna, I want to do this, you please bless me. Or maybe instead of Krishna, it was Mother Durga, Mother Kali, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, anyone. But we have done this lifetime after lifetime, that we want to do something, we decide to do something, and we just go and we say, now you bless us. आपका आशीर्वाद दे दो हमें, हमें जो करना है हमने ऑलरेडी सोच लिया है, आप हमें क्या बताओगे? You just give your blessings because we know better what is good for me. I have already decided that. Now I have only come to seek your blessings so that whatever I have decided may it successfully happen. This is not guidance. Guidance is before taking a step, something coming in our mind, seek guidance. See, this thought is coming in my mind. Should I go ahead or not? When we seek guidance and when we seek blessings from that guidance, then we are protected under the Guru Parampara. It is called Guru Parampara because it is a chain, it is a disciplic succession. It is not one single individual standing there. Therefore, coming back to this, that when one is absorbed in temporary conditioned existence, he hankers after sense gratification and liberation. As long as we want to decide what we want in our life and try to seek blessings, that is not blessing. Because then that is, protection will be there, but we have to undergo the consequences because we are absorbed in sense gratification. I want to do as I wish, as I want. But love of God is the eternal nature of the soul. It is unchangeable without beginning or end. Therefore, neither temporary sense gratification nor liberation can compare with the transcendental nature of love of God. Love of God is the fifth and ultimate goal of life. Compared with the ocean of transcendental pleasure, that is love of God, the conception of impersonal Brahman is no more significant than a drop of water. So with that, we'll pause here for today, and Krishna willing, we'll continue reading again tomorrow. Thank you very much, dear devotees. There are some messages in the message box. Okay. So we'll pause here. वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री श्रीमद श्रीलजय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय। जगत श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। विशाल गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
हरी हरी
हरी
बोल।
हरी बोल, हरी हरी बोल।
हरी बोल।